ค่ะ Okay, so hello class. It's 9 a.m. now, so I think that we should start. Okay, so welcome to our advanced HRM course, and I'm Hà Vũ. You can call me Sophie. I'm your instructor in this course. So before we start, just uh, a check for your technical problem. So if you can hear me clearly, kindly please chat yes in the chat box so I can ensure that you can hear me clearly. Okay, thank you, Samuel. Okay, thanks. Okay, thank you. Okay, so today is our first class. The first time that we met each other. So although I have reviewed your learning background and work experience through the pre-training survey, I didn't receive enough responses. So I believe that it's important for everyone to get to know one another better. So I will call each of you respectively. So please introduce yourself briefly, sharing your work background and learning expectation. I will call you respectively based on the participant list received from the student advice team. So please turn on your camera, turn on your mic, and feel free to share. Okay. Miss Hin, how can I call you? Hin Mile Kyo. So please turn on please turn on your camera and your mic and introduce yourself to the class.
Yes, Chair.
Mm-mm.
I'm Kim.
Mm-mm.
My working experience is only in education fields, like in visa officers and education admission over 3 years. And currently, I'm taking marketing roles for only 3 months. Yeah, for HRM is my first time. Um, for certificate and basis knowledge, I have learned from like online or some books. But in briefly, this is maybe my first time.
Yeah. Okay. So from the survey, you mentioned that you are currently an education consultant, but would like to be a professional HR staff. So what are the reasons?
I'm sorry, sir.
I mentioned that from the survey, you said that you are currently an education consultant, but would like to be a professional HR staff. So what are the
Yeah.
reasons?
Honestly, before I want to be HR, I work as an education consultant. I want to be HR in my country because I think like HR is a good salary, and also I just talk with like company stuff and only not to talk with any other. That's why I thought like HR, I will be the HR.
Yeah, okay. So the reason from the salary, from the remuneration, but reflecting on yourself, how well do you think that you fit the role of the HR staff? How well do you think that you fit this role?
Because I like to calculate. Because I want to calculate well in payroll because I want to be I like to calculate and like in Excel sheets. So that's why for payroll part I will be fit.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much. And what are your expectations on this course?
Like I answer in surveys, I want to briefly want to know in like some HR rules like payroll method and also especially rules like what is the main rule for each employee? Like I want to know from that part.
Okay, so thank you so much. So later how can I call you? Miss Kim, is it correct?
Yes,
Miss
sure.
Kim. Okay, so thank you, Miss Kim, for your sharing. Thank you.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, next, please, Mr. Samuel, kindly please turn on your camera, your mic, and share your ideas. Thank you. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Good
Yeah.
morning, Miss Sophia.
Yeah.
My name is Mr. Samuel. I'm from Nigeria. Yeah. I have work experience in logistics and also in a banking industry. So I've worked in a bank approximately 1.5 years, and I've been into logistics for 1 year plus also. So I'm an interesting person, and my academic field of study, my first degree is office management. So that is why I would want to learn more on human resource management to be able to manage my staffs and create a good working environment, and also to promote the long-term and short goal of the organization, respectively. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, Mr. Samuel, okay, I heard that you want to learn from HR course to manage your staff effectively. So tell me, from your past experience, have you ever faced any difficulties managing your staff?
Yes, obviously yes. You know, most staffs are nonchalant. They don't take their work serious, and we encounter difficulties because when the staffs are not productive, the organization tend to be stunned, like to be on to be static, not moving forward. So those challenges, I normally took it upon myself to do most jobs to ensure effectiveness, to ensure swift running of the organization without goers.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So, Mr. Samuel, please speak a bit louder so I can hear you effectively, okay? A bit more clearly, more loudly. Okay. So,
Oh,
yeah, okay.
okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
Okay, it's
Okay.
okay. Okay. So, what are your expectations on this course besides learning the tip to manage your staff effectively? What are others expectations for this specific course?
Okay. Thank you for this question. Honestly, my expectation is to get grounded in the course, to know exactly the in and out of the course, to be able to manage my staffs, and to be able to promote the long term of organizational goal, because every organization works with goals.
Okay.
So every organization works with a goal, and for that goal to be achieved, it must have an effective staff. So recruitment, job roles, and company rules and regulation has to be one of the paramount that will ensure that the government, that the company or office goes to a desired destination in the future going forward.
Okay. So thank you so much, Mr. Samuel. So I look forward to your opinion or your ideas in the following class, so we can share your experience in how to manage and optimize the your employees' productivity. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay. So next step, Mr. or Miss Sim, please turn on your camera and introduce yourself. Sim. Okay. So what's your names exactly?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. Hello.
Oh, hello. My name is Oka Bai, and
Ah,
now
yeah. Okay. Okay.
my name is Oka Bai, and now I'm currently had admission. My working experience is currently had admission with 3 years.
Administration.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So how long have you been in this room?
Over 3 years.
Over 3 years. Okay. Okay. So you are which country are you from?
And had 3 over 3 years in
Country.
Myanmar.
Myanmar.
Yes.
Ah, okay. Okay, so what are your expectation on this course?
This is my first time learning to HRV.
Mhm.
So I want to know about all detail. And so I'm so excited now.
Okay. So have you ever oversees the people related responsibility in your current role?
Yes.
Have you ever take the responsibility as HR manager or the people manager in your current role? Dealing
Yes,
with,
I have
dealing with people related matters.
patient. Mostly patient.
Okay, okay. Okay, so thank you so much. Okay, so for your sharing. Okay,
Thank you so much.
okay. Okay, Mr. Tom, kindly please turn on your camera and share your experience.
Yeah. Hello.
Okay, hello, I can hear you now.
Yeah. My full name is Panyatai. I'm from Myanmar. You can call me Tom. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but can you please speak slowly of your full
Oh
name?
yeah.
Yeah, I can check.
Oh yeah. My full name is Min Panyatai.
Minh Thắng.
Panyatai. Yeah.
Minh Minh Benyo Sik.
Panyatai. Yeah, I will test you. Min Panyatai.
Okay, so
I'm from Myanmar. So you can
Minh-
call me Tom. Yeah.
Tom. Okay, it's much easier for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me a bit about your experience.
Yeah. I not I have a job experience like business developing in and also in Myanmar or in Thailand. We are not doing our own business about selling the snack or selling food for the
Mm.
people.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's about since I was young, so I was doing there with my brother and with my parent. Yeah.
Okay, so what is your goal of pursuing this global mini MBA program, this specific course? What is your goal?
My role is I'm not I grew up with business parent and family, so I'm not like not I'm not like more interesting about this, but I work with more in about art. I'm actually addict musician.
Uh-huh.
So that's not I'm not most key on top with like a business. So
Mhm.
my role is it's kind of like I want to be one of my business I can manage by my own. Yeah, I'm trying to learn it more, and that's it.
Okay, so you are currently running a family-owned business and you want to study the HR course to manage and to handle the people in your business
Yeah,
better. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So got it? Okay, and I hope
Thank
that
you.
my course will contribute to your goal as owner of your family business.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Tom. Okay. Okay, so Mr. Danny, kindly please turn on your camera and sharing your ideas. Oh, hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me your full name, your country, and what are your expectations on this course?
Okay, my name is Daniel Tete Jr. Can you hear me?
Daniel Junior. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm from Ghana.
Ghana. Okay.
Yes. I have experience at a utility company in Ghana where I worked under the commercial department, and sometimes I did oversee some of my colleagues because when a new person comes into the company and comes under the commercial department, sometimes you are supposed to leave some of the work to those new people. Then you have to oversee them. When something goes wrong, you are the one going to be held responsible. So even though there's an HR department there, we even working under the commercial still sometimes act in a position of HR management, because when something goes wrong, they'll ask you the one in charge. So my expectation in this course is that sometime when I return back to my country, I should have more insight under the HR scope. I should be able to groom people under my rule or under my care, that I should be able to take care of them in case I should understand their attitude and their behavior in working, because unity in work makes sure the organization grows better and stronger. So that's what I'm expecting, that I should be able to learn more under HR. And I also did a little bit HR learning in my first degree. So I'm expecting to get a little bit advanced or more. I'm expecting more from this course. Thank you.
Okay. So I have read your response in the survey, and you said that you was responsible for the employee relation, addressing workplace issues.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. So how many years were you in this position?
So let's say 6 years.
6 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So what was the most meaningful lesson that you can learn from this experience, from the 6
Okay.
years?
All right. So what I'll say is that, because as I mentioned earlier, I said when new employees comes, you the old staff, you need to relay some of your job for that person. So when our manager comes to us and the new employee has made a mistake, he's going to hold you responsible, because they'll tell you, you've been in the job for maybe a year, 2 or 3. You know all the routes, you know all the rules and regulations, you know all the customers, you know all the things you need to do. So it's like, even though there is a manager, but they're still putting you, the staff, as a manager of that particular colleague of yours. So it's like you are overseeing the workload of your fellow colleague. And if you don't take care, even your job will be affected. So my experience, a little bit experience I had, is that not all employees are the same. Sometimes there are some you train, they pick it faster. There are some that you also train that other times there's a little bit complication and there. So it depends on how you train it. But at the end, overseeing someone's work is kind of more interesting, and you get to learn more about the person, and the organization also grows well.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Thank you so much for your sharing, Mr. Danny. And I look forward to your sharing in the next class. Okay,
Sure.
thank you. Okay, so Mr. Tohib Patai, okay, kindly please turn on your camera and your mic and share your experience. Okay. So please turn on your mic. Okay. So how can I call your name?
Yeah, Tohib.
Tohib.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me about yourself, your expectation on this course also.
My name is Tohib Patai. Expectation, I hope to learn more about HR service, because I have no idea of HR management. I won't lie. This is my first time taking this course. But anytime I hear about HR, human resources, I think they are the one that handle the staffs, the interview. To my own knowledge, the staffs, the interviews, talk to HR, human resources, talk to HR. Like, they are the one managing the employees, the activities of the employees. Maybe you are going to go on leave. Yeah, the HR will have that to his activities, like maybe you ask for a sick leave or a vacation leave. that is the work of an HR to keep in record. So in case of future misunderstanding, you say, yeah, I already asked, please check your check with the record. I already submitted that. I don't know if I'm correct, but to my little understanding, that's what I understand about HR.
Okay, so where are you from?
I'm from Nigeria.
Okay. So you from the survey, you say that you are currently a student. So
Yeah.
yeah, in addition to your university life, do you have any part-time job?
Part-time job. I worked previously as a freelancer, but right now, no part-time job.
Okay, okay. So thank you so much, Mr. Hip. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. I will call some of you. Miss Iandra Chenmeyer. Yeah. How can I call your name exactly?
You can call me Elias.
Elias. Okay, Elias. Okay. So hello and welcome to our class. Kindly please introduce yourself.
Yeah. I'm Elias. Everyone know me as Elias.
Okay.
My previous job was English instructor. I have been instructor to like teenager, around like high school students. Actually, I received leadership role on IOL. Yeah, so I would like to know more and more about HRM to improve my skills. Yeah, it's like I have to do that program online. It's like I'm part of their team to associate the program. So actually, I am the fit of their leader program.
Okay.
I have been chosen, so I need to do more about HRM to improve my skills. Yeah.
Okay. So where are you from?
I'm from Myanmar.
You're from Myanmar. Okay. So in your opinion, how will completing this HR course contribute to your career goals and current jobs?
My goal is to be a good leader. Also, I would like to do my own business someday. So I think it is important to do HRM course, and it's like contribute with my every job. Like my previous job is instructor, so it is also contribute with HRM. Also, now my current position, it's also important with human resource. I think I have been studying HRM before, but not Pacific, like a general. So I would like to do more on this course.
Okay, good. Okay, so thank you so much, Miss Elias. Okay, look forward to your opinion in our next class, and I think that your prior knowledge in Asia will contribute significantly in our course, and I look forward to your sharing experience. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Elias. Okay, and sorry, I'm struggling with your name for the first time. Miss or Mr. Okoyoshino Gamona. Okay.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, so please turn on your camera. I cannot see you well. And how can I call your names exactly?
Yeah, my name is Orekoya Shino. Can just call me Shino.
Shuno.
Yeah, Shino.
Shuno. Okay.
Shino. Yeah.
Shino.
Yes.
Shino. Okay. Okay, so please introduce yourself.
My name is Orekoya Shino. I'm from Nigeria,
Okay.
a graduate of computer science.
Okay. So, what is your current job, or are you studying right now?
Currently, I'm not working right now, but I'm doing my mini MBA program at SBS.
So, what is your purpose of studying this MBA program?
Yeah, just to know more about mini MBA and grow my knowledge about mini MBA and studying human resources management. I want to know I want to understand how human resources management works and their recruiting and selection process and onboard training, because I don't really know much about HR. So I'd love to know more and have the basic knowledge of HR, human resources management.
Okay. Yeah. Could you speak a little bit slowly so I can gauge your ideas exactly? I heard that you have currently no working and you want to study the HRM to contribute to your career goal, and you want to know more about training, right? Anything to
Yeah.
share more?
Not really to shame. I just want to know more about human resources management, and because I know they deal with the recruitment and selection, and they also deal with the onboard and training of styles. So I just want to know more about human resources management.
Okay. Got it. Okay. So thank you so much, Mr. Shino. Yeah, look forward to your opinion in our next class. Okay. So I think that we have come to here. Okay. So we complete the introduction, and I think that is the very first class, and we have five learning day equal to 10 learning section together. So I look forward to your opinion and your ideas to make our class active and interactive. Okay, so let me introduce myself. You can call me Sophie. My name is Hà Vũ, but you can call me.
Sorry, good morning. I've not introduced myself. Sorry to interrupt.
Sorry. Yeah, I sorry. Okay, so Mr. Emmanuel, so please introduce yourself. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sophie. I'll be very brief. Apologies for coming late due to network technicalities. But then I'm Honorable Emmanuel. I'm from Nigeria, and I'm a product manager working at Intern POS. Product management has to do with the entire phases of product ideation, from discovery to development to launching, iteration, evaluation. So actually, I opted for this very program, HRM Advanced class, with respect to my interest for my startup, which is a medical device technology. So I just want to understand the entire framework of HRM, from talent acquisition to assessments, and then development down to talent retention. So I hope and believe that this program would give me that expectation that I look forward to. Thank you.
Yeah. How can I call your name? Emmanuel?
Emmanuel is fine. Yes, that's my name, Emmanuel.
Okay. Okay. So have you ever held a people management role where you were responsible for leading an entire team and handling all people related matters?
Yeah, very sure. When I worked with CBO, is a community-based organization. I worked as a paralegal officer, and also I've worked as a peer educator. I've worked as an outreach assistant, where I handled the legal information of all the key populations in my community. Also, as a peer educator, I did onboarding for the community members who I train with respect to HIV prevention and substance abuse.
Wow, wow. Okay, so I can realize the very diversified experience in people-related matters. So from your sharing, I heard that you want to know more about the HR framework, the talent acquisition, assessment, and talent retention. So in your opinion, how will this knowledge contribute to your current job and your career goal as a product manager?
Yeah, as a product manager, what we are looking at is what I'm expecting or how it will improve my career with respect to HRM. It's just to understand that in business, it's the two major goals is profit maximization and customer satisfaction. So HRM would help me onboard a team of talents that would make each and every one of us achieve our business goal at the end of the day. So that's why I'm really expecting this program to give me that that understanding for business growth.
Okay, so interesting. I love the ideas that you connect the HR knowledge with your current job, and I hope that the sharing in the class as well as the teaching material will help you to oversee the people-related matters effectively in your current job and also in the future. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Emino. Okay, so anybody who presents in the class but not sharing your ideas? I think it's enough now. Okay. Okay. So, sorry again, Mr. Emmanuel, for not asking you. Okay. Okay. So, I introduce myself very briefly. I am your instructor in this Pacific course. Up to now, I have gained more than 10 years experience in HR management, mostly working in financial services, banking and insurance enterprises. I am also motivated trainer, a university lecturer. My classes include HR management, soft skill training, and English for office worker. I believe that with a rich background in both corporate and academic setting, I believe my experience can bring an insightful perspective to all of you. I am someone who believe that learning about HRM is not just about theories, but also about exploring current challenges, best practices, and real-life examples. Hence, in our class, I encourage you to actively participate in class discussion, asking questions and providing your insight to promote a deeper understanding of the subject matter. And I want to share a bit about my teaching approach. I am dedicated to equip you with theoretical knowledge, practical skill, and understanding of the strategic significance of HR. I understand several challenges that working professionals may face in their learning, like yourself. For example, busy schedule, limited motivation, and especially the fear of making mistake and inhibition of sharing. Hence, in my classroom, I will try my best to create a supportive, non-judgmental learning environment where you feel comfortable sharing and confidently raise your inquiries. So I would like you to feel free to share your ideas and not afraid of making mistake or raising any ideas. Okay, so I would like to reiterate some class-related information. So our course consists of 5 consecutive study days, comprising 10 learning sections, morning and afternoon, followed by 1 assessment day for the professional practice activity. And detailed time for this evaluation day will be announced later. So to ensure the quality of our class, there are a few expectations I hope we can cooperate on. First and foremost, be on time. I strongly recommend that you log in at least 5 minutes before class begins to check for any technical issues, as waiting for late arrival and re-explaining concepts lead to less time for covering complex topic or Q&A section. So to respect those who are punctual, the class will start on time. Secondly, please switch phone on vibrate mode to avoid any distraction. And to make sure everyone can participate and be heard, kindly please mute your microphones until it's your turn to share. Be mentally and physically present. Since our class is online, it offers the convenience of attending from anywhere. So you can see from the sharing that we have friends from Myanmar, from Nigeria, from Ghana, from Cambodia, for example. However, it can be challenging to keep everyone focused and engaged. So to ensure that we all have a productive experience, please follow this guideline. Firstly, turn on your camera and be camera ready. I want to ensure that everyone is present in the class and focus on the teaching material, not distracted by any things. Secondly, be ready for interaction. In my class, I will try my best to ask you as many questions as possible to keep you interact with others and focus on the teaching material. So be ready for interaction. Just like in a physical classroom, be ready to discuss the learning point and engage with me and your classmate. I don't want to be the only one talking from the beginning to end. So please feel free to ask and to share your ideas. Okay, so most of the class time will be centered around your contribution. I will create as many opportunities as possible for you to share your opinion, your ideas. And in my class, there are no right or wrong answer. Your insight, your opinion, your ideas are valued. So be confident. Don't hesitate to share and feel free to ask questions. Okay. Okay. Throughout the course, attendance, class participant, and professional practice will be key component in assessing your understanding. So in our class, I strongly believe that the practical application of theoretical knowledge is essential. And it's the key to help you climb on the career ladder. So to deepen your understanding of the HR strategies and enhance the problem-solving skill, the final evaluation will be centered around the professional practice exercise, where you will analyze a real life case from your current workplace or any company provided. So detailed instruction on how to conduct the professional practice will be provided later. Okay. Okay, so now as we complete our greeting today, let's go on the main parts of our first class, overview of strategic HR management. So by the end of this session, it is expected that you will be able to firstly grasp the strategic role of HRM in business alignment and success. Secondly, apply the HRM diagnostic framework to assess key influencing factors. Thirdly, explore the talent stewardship model for effective talent management, including talent acquisition and talent retention. And finally, identify the current and future HRM trends. This final part, we will spend a lot of time in the afternoon section where I want to listen to your ideas, your insight in our current update. Okay. Okay, so our section includes 3 main parts. Firstly, a strategic approach to HR management. Secondly, the talent stewardship model. And third section is the current and future HRM challenges. Now let's move on to our first part, a strategic approach to HR management. Okay, so before we jump into the first section, I have a question for you. In your opinion, what is your definition of HR management briefly from your own understanding, from your experience in work or your previous study? What is human resource management definition? I see that Mr. or Miss Minh Thet Khang have joined the class. Okay, so kindly please turn on your camera, your mic, introduce yourself, and also answer this question. Okay, hello, Mr.
Okay, hello, good morning, teacher. Okay.
How can I call your name?
You can call me Ming.
Ming.
Yeah,
Okay.
just Ming. Yeah, okay.
Okay, so a bit late for the class. I hope that you will be on
Yeah.
time the next time. Okay, so please
Okay.
introduce yourself.
Yeah, I finished my bachelor degree in electrical engineering. Yes, and I have about human resource management, but I don't understand detail about human resource management. I'm just here to learn this subject. Thank you, lecturer. Yeah,
Uh, where are you from?
from Myanmar.
You're from Myanmar, and
Yeah,
are you currently working? I heard that you study electric engineering.
yeah. No, I'm not currently working. I just quit from my job.
Yeah. So what is your
Yeah.
previous job?
My previous just is solar installation.
Sorry.
Solar installation for residential industry. Yeah.
Okay. So what
Yeah.
is your goal of studying this program, particularly the HRM?
To improve knowledge about management and business. Yeah.
So in your previous job, have you ever taken the responsibility of managing people?
I'm just a junior in this industry, so I don't do management mostly. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so thank you so much, Mr. Ming.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so class, any ideas on this question? What is the HRM definition from your experience? Just briefly and very specific, simple. HR management, people management. Okay, so Mr. Emmanuel, yeah, Emmanuel.
All right. All right. Thank you very much. The concept of human resource management. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
All right. The concept of human resource management is just a strategic, efficient, and effective way of managing employees in a company or organization, just to maximize and improve their performance to achieve business goals and outcomes.
From your sharing, I noticed the keyword maximize. Yeah. It's a very insightful observation, but could you please expand specifically how the HRM can maximize the employees' productivity and potential for the organization performance? How can? In what way?
All right. I think one way is helping them to bring out their required soft skills, also conducting trainings for them, and then keen supervision of work.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So I would thank you, Mr. Emmanuel, for your sharing. It's a very insightful observation for the maximize, the keyword maximize. Yeah, the HRM is the main goal is to maximize the human potential and contribute to the business goal and long-term success. So in our following class, we will analyze step by step in what way that HRM can contribute to that goal. Okay, thank you, Mrs. Emmanuel. Okay, the next question is that, in your opinion, why HRM is important to all managers? From my observation, our class consists of people from different walks of life. You have the diversified experience as the product managers, as the instructor, as the administration officer, for example. So in your opinion, why the HRM important and essential to the people manager, to all managers? Any ideas? Anyone who want to share? Miss Kim, what is your
Hello.
opinion? Miss Kim, what is your opinion?
Yes, for my opinion, HR department is essential for in every organization. Because for when new employee comes to like company or organization, employee needs for trainings and also for recruitment and also like training like performance management, or need to go under HR department. So I think HRM is really important to our managers because they need to support for in one place of the organization.
Okay, that's great one. Okay, support. Okay, support the pupil, support own function to achieve the specific goal. Okay, thanks, Miss Kim. Okay, Mr. Samuel, I see that you raised your hand. Please share your ideas. What is your opinion? Mr. Samuel?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay, what is your opinion?
Thank you. This question is actually catching. Personally, I think human resource management is important to all managers because it will help tailor individual various departments in an organization to help work effectively. Because human resources will guide every staff, both new recruits and those in the work. It will help them to understand the structure and the work effect of the company. Human resource management helps to guide the organization moving forward to maintain high level of responsiveness and responsibility. It will help them to tailor the rules and regulations of the company so that each and every staff will not deviate from its workspace to another, not encroaching. So it will give a guide to various departments. So this is why I think human resource management is quite important, because they will also help to recruit effective employees who can accurately do the work effectively. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Samuel, for your opinion. HRM is helping the pupil moving forward by instructing them, guiding them. It's a very valuable contribution to this discussion on the role. And before we move on, I see that Mr. Emmanuel, you raised your hand. Anything to share before we go to the following point?
Yeah, sure. Just a brief one.
Samuel has already said a lot, but then to drive it home, human resources call to the attention human resource management is important to all managers because it will help them guide and drive home the company policies to each and every staff. And the importance of human resource to managers is the synergy of understanding the synergy of cross-functional collaborations amongst teams for the business growth. For example, as a product manager, product management consists of cross-functional teams of engineers, product designers, UI UX designers, virtual assistants, and data analysis alongside project managers. So the role of human resource management is to conduct the talent acquisition and then deliver the framework of retaining them, because these different talents coming together for one business goal. So I think the HRM helps bring in these quality talents together so as to achieve the goal. So it's very important to every manager. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel. So bringing the talented people together to achieve the business goal. So we think that the HR is just like a bridge between the company and the candidate. So we try our best to bring the talent together, to guide them, to instruct them, to maximize their potential, to achieve the ultimate goal of the business, achieving the long-term success. So I think that your ideas, you have all come up with the great and diverse ideas. So now just consolidate this idea to find the comprehensive definition of the HRM. Okay, so just like the product life cycle, we have a term called the employee life cycle, which begin when potential candidates are introduced to the company, continue through the time as engaged employee, and complete when they leave. A comprehensive understanding of this cycle forms the foundation of human resource management, or HRM. So according to Dassler, the HRM is defined as the process of acquiring, training, appraising, and compensating employees, and of attending to their labor retention, health, safety, and fairness concerns. So perhaps the most compelling reason for why HRM is important is that regardless of your field expertise, whether you are the product manager, the administration officer, or the English instructor, managing the people or personnel aspect is crucial. So in small and medium-sized enterprises, you may even find yourself acting as an HR manager, dealing with employees-related challenges directly. Okay, so HR plays a vital role in driving overall business success by unlocking the potential of employees and aligning HR strategies with business goals. So our coming next slide will prove that statement. Okay. Now, I'm sorry. Okay. Now, as you can see on the slide is the strategic HRM diagnostic model. The illustration to grasp the comprehensive approach and generate more informed, purposeful HR management. So a model provides us with an analytical framework to understand the essential of HRM, which is influenced by both external factors that exist outside a company as well as the internal one. So if a company wants to grow and remain competitive, its mission, objective, and strategies must achieve the best alignment between the external opportunities and threats, as well as the internal strengths and weaknesses. internal factor. So articulate a company mission, why it exists, its objectives, what it wants to be, what it wants to achieve, its strategies, how the objective to be achieved will direct the setting of HRM objective, strategies, and action plan. On the other hand, evaluating outcome provide essential feedback on HRM activities and ultimately concerned with enhancing effectiveness of the HR activities, and is usually concerned with improving both organization and individual performance. So research show that enterprises adopting HRM strategies and high performance HR practices align with internal and external environment outperform those that implement less well-matched practices. Now, let's take a closer look at the first element of this model, the external factors. So the diagnostic approach to HRM emphasizes that the HR managers must first consider the nature of external influence before choosing a specific course of action. So this approach enables HR manager to be proactive rather than reactive. So by adopting a proactive stance, HR managers are equipped to assess the context of a situation and respond effectively. So my question is, which environmental factors influencing business operation and HR activity, in your opinion? Mr. Tom, I heard that you are currently running your family business. So from your observation, which external factors can influence your business operations?
Yeah, according to this question, I have like more about thinking, and think more about sharing rather than sharing, and just need more input about
Yeah,
like
so just imagine.
listening. Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
imagine that you are currently running your business.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're running the business operation, you're selling product. Okay, so
Yeah.
from your observation, which factor can affect the numbers of product you sold? The factor from outside, the factor from the environment can influence your operation.
Yeah.
What is your what is your target customer of your product?
Target they have like the like enjoying the product.
Yeah, just describe your customer, the customer of your selling product. What are their features? What are their characteristics? What are the age or any demographic information of your targeted customers?
Yeah, the only target is not the age. We sell the product for the food and the snack. So for the older people, we are target on the older people. Yeah, it's more influence for rather than the younger age, and like the older age, we are influenced in this product.
Okay, so I heard from your sharing that your target customer is older people.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you think that selling your product in the countries which have the high percentage of old people like Japan will increase your number of products? Do you think so?
And if compared to Japan, I don't think so. But we are selling a traditional food. So if in Japan, no, I think it's not influencing. Only in Thailand and Myanmar, it can be.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you mentioned a very specific aspect that we would like to explore further. You mentioned
Yeah.
that your product, your food is a traditional food, which is suitable to sell in Thailand and Myanmar only, not in Japan, right?
Yeah, we can stay in Japan. Yeah, but it's not fit for Japan people to have and to serve. Only for a traditional food, like if only in Thailand and Myanmar they have more like more the same culture. So that's why we can sell this products as influence in this business. Not if in Japan we can sell influence like this, as you know. Yeah.
So the reason you mentioned that your product is more suitable with the Thailand and the Myanmar market,
Yeah.
not in Japan. What are the main reasons?
The main reason is they are kind of different food. It's like it's
Yeah.
a different food because of it's a traditional food.
Yeah.
It's more suitable with the Thailand.
Yeah. So tradition different.
Yeah.
So it means that your product will be affected by the factors of tradition, by the culture.
Yeah.
Okay. So that means that
Yeah.
it's suitable to sell in the Thailand market, in the Myanmar market, rather than the Japan market. The reason why I asked this question is that you mentioned that your product is targeted the older people. So the
Yeah.
Japan is famous for the high percentage of the old people in their workforce. So
Yeah.
you can see that between the factors of demographic information, the young or the old workforce, and the culture, your product is highly affected by the culture factor. Okay, so you can see that
Yeah.
a factor that you can pick to answer this question is culture, right? Thank you,
Okay.
Mr. Tom. Okay, so
Okay. Thank you.
okay, so I want to know, I want to listen to another person. Mr. Danny, what is your opinion for this question?
Okay. Some external factor I can also talk about is maybe economic conditions.
Economic condition. Why do you think so?
Let's say the activities of the HR can be affected by economic conditions such as let's say inflation.
Inflation,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
What
so
inflation will be will influence the HR activities?
in the sense that when prices of things are very high in the economy, the things that the HR want to do for the employees is going to be very less because giving more money to the employees is going to be scarce. But already the economy is already affected, and the company is not going to have much to do for its employees, and it's going to affect the activities of the HR.
Yeah, very good point. The economic condition, the inflation will influence the budget of the company for the employees' benefit, employee salary, for example. Thank you so much, Mr. Danny, for very interesting and crucial factors, economic condition. Okay, Mr. Emmanuel, yeah, I can see that you raised your hand. Okay.
All right, thank you very much. I think one major factor that is hitting business operations and human resource activities has to do with digitalizations.
Digitalization.
The digitalization with respect to technological advancements. Now, for instance, AI is trending. AI tools are everywhere, helping us to do or see efficiency in our businesses. So any HR, any company who doesn't optimize the need or see the need for their HR to also grow with the trend, would be affected because as the HR is out there looking for the best ways to acquire talents, just like these days when we submit our CVs, there is already an AI tool to sieve people's CVs and to know what to get, to check CVs that have those keywords that the HR is looking for. So imagine a business or company that the HR is not making use of those AI tools that would help efficiency. You know, that very company would be affected seriously. So I think there is also need for aside digitalization, I think this is also where the personal analysis comes to place because businesses will be affected with respect to the political system of where the business is existing. It will be affected with the economic, just like Daniel highlighted, the inflation. It will affect employees' benefits and compensations. Talking about the social aspect, digital marketing has to come to play. So if these tools are not put in place, we could also take, okay, I've talked about technology. We'd also take a look at the legal framework or the legal analysis, because a situation where a company is existing, a company that doesn't understand or flow well with the country's policy, it will be affected. It will be affected. We imagine a company, a situation where a company doesn't understand the legal framework of the country where it's existing. It might just wake up one morning and find that it has gone against the rule pertaining to that particular business, and that is automatic bankruptcy, shutting down the company. So these are some of the external factors that come to play with respect to human resource activities and business operations generally. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel. No, actually, you raised a very good point of the digitalization. The advancement, the technological advancement has significantly influenced all of the business operation and indirectly affect the HR activities. And in our afternoon section, we will take a closer look at the influence of technology in the specific HR function. Thank you, Mr. Emmanuel. Okay, Mr. Samuel, I noticed that you said the government policies will affect the HR activities. Could you please elaborate on this point?
Okay. Yeah, government policies. You know, when you talk about government policies, you're looking at a political structure of a government, of political structure of the country you are in. So if your business is operating in a labor law country, there are some policies that will not support your business. Like, let's take for instance, Vietnam is a communist country, and most times foreigners are not allowed to operate because of a language barrier, because of you have to get this, you have to get that before you can operate. Now, a good HRO will see capable hands who will fit in the job, and because they don't have government required documents to operate, those support systems will be left behind without being recruited. So government policies affect HRO to employ a good skilled labor who can do the work effectively. So in my own opinion, government policies affect some businesses.
Okay, so from your sharing, I noticed that you say the government policies influence the HR activity in a way they employ the good and skilled labor for handling the task in the company. So please tell me an example of your country policy, any policy in your country that influence directly or indirectly in the HR activities. Give me an example.
Well, actually, I didn't use my country as an example. I use Vietnam as an example.
Okay, so tell me about Vietnam.
If I can use my country, but that's fine, because in my country, we have a democracy system of government where people's opinion is adored. Not like Vietnam, where citizens don't speak about the government. If you speak about the government, you'll be arrested. So in my country, individual citizens are allowed to air their views. Now, in a working system, you have to do with tax, government tax. Government has their rules and regulations. Government has a way of operating to increase, to maximize profits for each system, and those taxation will affect some businesses because of a high level of taxing. So they will find it difficult to operate. Now, human resource management sees a just like Mr. Emmanuel shared, like using a technology to screen some CVs. The HRM has a good knowledge of invoke AI trends. They can ascertain a qualified candidate for that position. Now, let me just make reference of Vietnam. Vietnam is a communist country, and foreigners, more especially the blacks, are not allowed to work if they don't have the right documents. Now, and in Vietnam, it is very hard to get a working document. In some countries, they are not hard because of the way the government is structured, the policies are structured. So in Vietnam, it's quite difficult. In fact, I don't know what word to use. let me just be friendly. It is very hard to get a working document. So it will affect in the sense that the HR, seeing a capable hand who can do the work effectively, cannot recruit that labor because of the government policies, because it will incur the government spending more to recruit that labor.
Okay. Thank you
That's
so
what
much.
I mean by government policies.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Samuel. I think that your example of your country and in Vietnam really illustrates your point. We can see that the government policy will affect the HR activities, particularly in the recruiting people, in the compensating people in various ways. So understanding this factor will help the HR practitioner to adjust the approach to adapt better. Okay. Okay. So some of the major influences existing outside the company can be remembered by keeping in mind the best model, which stands for 6 elements. We can see that all of you have mentioned nearly all of these factors like political, economic, social, technology, and legal environment. Okay, so you can see that these factors place various influence on the business operation. Like Mr. Samuel has mentioned before, like in a country where the government impose a high level of taxes, it may be difficult for the business to operate and to run their business. And it will also affect the job opportunities for those foreigners. Okay, we have various factors, and understanding these factors will make a way for the HR practitioner to build up the HR policy in accordance with the external factors and adapt effectively. Okay. Maybe we can have okay. Another point before we have a break. We will analyze the internal factors. Now, we have already discussed about the influence of the external factors on the business operation and then directly affect the HR activities. Now, for the internal factors, we will analyze the company strategies, culture, structure, and system. Now, you can see that there are 4 elements. The organizational system. So all HR system must be efficient and in harmony with other management systems such as accounting, marketing, sales, and distribution. For example, if HR reward system, including the subsystem of cash and non-cash remuneration, doesn't promote the goal of improving sales productivity, the overall company performance will suffer. The second element is organizational strategies. The strategies set the direction for the company, define how it plans and implement in real practice. For example, if a company aims to become a fastest growing and most profitable in its industry, this objective will shape the type of the talent the company needs. The selection criteria will focus on individuals who are highly competent and achievement-oriented to align with the company growth. The third element is organizational culture. So the culture is formed by its psychological and social climate, represent values, beliefs that define how a company conducts its business. So it influences employees' expectation, behavior, and productivity, distinguishes a company from others. You can see that some companies such as IBM, Microsoft, or P&G tend to employ the like-minded people and assess job applicants on how they fit the culture more than on their job-related skill. And the final element, the organizational structure. The structure directly affects the employees' productivity, behavior, and influence over how jobs are designed, how decisions are made, how things get done, and what type of employees are required. For example, the company with the narrow spans of control tend to be rigid, formal, highly specialized, and bureaucratic. In contrast, enterprises from the European countries or the US with flat structure tend to be more flexible, informal, and less specialized. Oh. Okay, so I think that we can have a short break before we come to the next section. So we will have the 15-minute break. So please come back after 15 minutes and we will go through the remaining lesson in the morning session. So thank you so much for your participation in our first hour. So have a break and see you soon. Okay, class, we're back after the break. Okay, so before the break, we have discussed the influence of external and internal factors on the business, on the organization mission, objective, strategies, and indirectly they affect the HRM objective. So next we come to the connection between the business mission, objective, strategies, and HR objective. So the research proved that the closer the fit between the business mission, objective, strategies, and its HRM objective, the more positive the effect on HRM labor productivity. So to obtain this goal, some critical questions must be asked, such as those one on the screen. So these questions ensure that there is a strategic connection between the business and the HR objective. Without this connection, the HRM would remain a collection of disconnected activities, lacking a central purpose and coherent structure. So this would make it reactive rather than proactive, limiting the company's ability to optimize opportunities for survival and growth. Now we will analyze this part of this diagram, the connection between the HR objective, HR strategies, and the activities. So according to Drucker, in the knowledge economy, employees are not labor, they are capital. The productivity of capital is decisive in determining performance. So for that reason, merging the business outcomes with the HRM strategies and activities via HRM objectives is a critical source of competitiveness. Now I have a question for you. So, in your opinion, how can the HRM objective shape the direction of the HR strategies and activities? Can you provide any examples to illustrate this relationship? So, Miss Ilas, could you please share your ideas?
Yes. So I think Asia objective and strategy is to value buying a workforce with business goal like that. So they enhance employees' performance, and also it's we can boost engagement and improve retention. So I think I also thought about this. For Asia, it ensures legal compliance that support organizational growth, that foster like a strong workplace culture. So and also it's focused on efficiency, productivity, and innovations. So I think these ASA strategies contribute directly to business success and long-term sustainability.
Yeah, I got your point about the contribution of the HRM in the specific business objective, but I want to dive deeply in the connection. So, for example, if the HRM objective is increasing the productivity of the human resource of the people in the company, so do you think that how do this objective affect the HR activities? For example, the training, the recruitment, or the compensation and benefit.
Yeah, it's definitely, yeah, contribute with that.
Yeah. I will reiterate my question again. Okay. I want to dive deeply and explore an example of the connection between the HRM objective and the HR activity. For example, if the objective is to increase the employees' productivity, so in what way this objective affect the HR activities? For example, recruiting people, training people, or compensating people. In what way? Do you think of any example?
Um, so to provide legal services.
Supervise. Yeah. Anything
Yeah.
else?
And also like yeah, that, like I said, like
Okay. So I will take an example from your current job, right? I heard that you are an English instructor. Okay. So if you want to increase the score of your student in the class, how can you help them?
I have to prepare the strategic plan for the students.
Yeah. In what way? How can you prepare that?
I can't hear. I can hear.
Yeah. I heard that you said if you want to improve the score of the student, right? You have to prepare a plan for them. So can you explain more specifically what kind of plans you have to increase their score?
Oh, so if the students, not every student is same. Like, some may be active and some maybe not. So I have to, um, focus on every students, and yeah, so guideline to them very differently. Yeah. So I make the plans for every students. Like in my class, like 15 students. Like I thought in the class, like they are in like standard classes. So I very I very make those strategy plan for them, so they can use these tools and to learn effectively. Yeah. So and I also like contribute with every students, not let them down. Some maybe feel like they are very introverted, so they're not very active. Like, and also they're teenagers, so their mind it's like very uncomfortable sometimes. Yeah, that's that's why I have to focus on every students. They maybe feel sometimes comfortable and not really I like not active sometimes. Also, I make those plans and send them email personally. Yeah, and they wrote at this they reply me back. Some students don't talk in the class, so I contribute with them. I connect with them by using social media. So they feel very comfortable when they talk to me, and they ask them they communicate with me on email or any social media. Yeah. So yeah, like so after that they make really good score on the exam and tests. Yeah. And also they like I'm very happy they feel very active lately. Like after 3 months they feel very comfortable with me. So I have to try to, communicate with every student and what they need exactly and what they prefer to do. So I really made a lot of plans to connect with them.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much for your insightful sharing, actually, Miss Elias.
Yeah.
The way that you engage your student and help them step by step to improve their score, it's
Yeah.
just similar to how HR can contribute to the employee's performance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. I heard that you mentioned that to have the employee increase their score, you first make a plan and provide them with necessary tools to study. You find a way to engage them because they are introverted. Yeah, it's a very good point here because not everyone feel comfortable talking to others. And that's a very interesting approach to teaching students. And you try your best to make them feel comfortable with you so you can establish a good relationship between you and your student. So you can see that from the starting point of the goal of increasing the score, you change your teaching approach and the activity to help your students step by step achieve the goal. So it is similar to the way the HR objective connect to the HR activity and strategies. If you want to increase the employees' productivity, for example, it is a HR objective, you must change the way you engage the employees in the company. You must change the way you teach them, you instruct them to perform their job effectively by providing them with the necessary tools and skill, like the way you equip your student with. Yeah, it is the similar setting. Yeah, thank you, Miss Elias, for your interesting sharing. So just feel free to share. Don't be afraid. Yeah, I can see that you are a very motivated trainer, instructor, and I wish you all the best with your student.
Yeah, thank you so much, Miss.
Yeah, okay. So
And
thank you.
also, it's like
Sorry, Miss Elias, you have mute your mic. Yeah, okay, I can
Yeah.
hear you. Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the point is like there's different learner, as you know, like teenager learners and adult learner is very different.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the main problem. So teenager is like as I said, they're very mostly not very active to
Yeah.
participate in the talk like this.
Yeah.
They're very shy or like what other will say to me. If they do to me, they have very confused mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's not same with adult learners.
Yeah, a good point that you mentioned the difference between the teenagers and the adult learners. They are very different in terms of the span of remembering the learning characteristic and the learning style. And in the same setting like in the corporate, we are very different. Employees are very different in terms of self-motivation, in terms of demographic information. So as the role of the HR manager, the people manager, we must recognize the differences and adjust our approach effectively, like the way you understand the difference between the teenager student and the adult learners and change your way of teaching them. It's the same, right? Yeah. Thank you, Miss Elias, for sharing a good perspective that.
Yeah, and also like I said, I have to volunteer in leadership program, and for that it's very different with my previous job. I have to meet with different people. It may be older than me or maybe younger than me. You know, it's a leadership program, so like more like adult learners. So it will be much more different mindset.
Yeah. And if you have to talk to people with a different mindset, how can you communicate well with them, with those people who are different in mindset?
Like it's like for me, teenage learners, they focus on learning more and they don't like to communicate, you know, not like to talk much much like this. Like this is a mini MBA program, so it's much different.
Mhm.
With yeah, actually they only like to learn. They like to, you know, write and learn, not very focused to talk, not very focused to talk or communicate with teacher. Mostly they like to learn and share ideas back that they learn from the English lessons. Like,
Okay.
yeah. So I haven't started my leadership job yet, but I have to volunteer soon. So I think it will be much different with my past experience.
Okay.
I'm sure about it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Miss Elias, for your sharing. Okay, class. So you can see from Miss Elias' sharing, we are all different in terms of self-motivation from our own personality. So if the HR objective is diversity and inclusion, it means that the first step that we need to take into consideration is recognizing this difference, and we change the approach of HR activity to adapt to various style of employees. The way we train employees, the way we engage them need to change also. Okay, so Mr. Samuel, I see that you provide an example of the HRM objective and staff performance, increase staff performance. So could you please share your ideas on this?
Okay.
Mm.
Thank you, Ms. Sophia. Personally, I could say, or I say that HR objective change the direction of both HR strategy and HR activities. Ordinarily, when a company is growing, they have objectives, and the essence of them employing you as the HR is for you to uplift their objectives.
Mm.
Then, as a HR, you need to be strategic. How can you uplift their objective? Now, a company is built and it needs a capable hands, which it is your duty to recruit. Recruit good talents,
Mm-hmm.
quality employee that can
Mm.
carry the company's objective to wherever it's driving at.
Mm.
Now, if you've recruit and the employee is not performing, what do? You have to devise a means by creating a KPI
Uh-huh.
where
Create
you can,
KPI.
yeah,
Okay.
KPI,
Uh-huh. Mm.
where you can evaluate their performances
Okay.
and know where they are doing well or not. Remember, it is also your duty to train them. Take them around the four walls of the company or the organization so that they will have a clear mindset. They'll have the knowledge of what is expected of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like in a banking industry, I've worked in a bank before.
Ah,
There are various departments. You have the operation, you have the customer service, you have the HRM department, which has to do with the administrative. Now, if the operation is not performing, okay, and also you have the marketing department.
mm.
Now, as a HRM, it is your duty to oversee the activities of the marketing department through the marketing manager.
Okay.
He will report to you how those under him, the line staff or the subordinate, has been operating so far for the past 1 month or 1 week. So now you have to evaluate them. Are they doing well? Are they productive in their field? What are they lacking? Now, it is now the time for you to sit with the marketing manager to discuss the way forward, because every financial institution has their mindset is to maximize profits, to make returns, because most money in their tail is not theirs actually, is a borrowed money. So they have to double the money. And if the marketers are not performing, it is the fault or is a failure to the marketing manager. So HR will work in line with the marketing manager to make sure that the marketers under his watch, they are performing. If they are underperforming, there needs to be a marketing orientation for them to understand the key functions of their role. How do you meet a client? How do you close a deal? And of what effect will it add to your personal life? Job satisfaction is there. If you take a good look into it, job satisfaction is there. When you are not performing, the satisfaction you drive is down. But when you are performing, the satisfaction you drive is high, and it will motivate you more. So the HRM will strategize on how to motivate the employee to do more and to do better, to uphold or uplift the organizational goal. You know, when I started before, I said that HRM oversees the long-term and short goal of every organization. So it takes to heart that this is what the company is expected. So based on recruit and training, he or she will introduce that governmental objective. So literally, HRM has an objective, and its objective is in line with the organizational objective, why he or she was employed. And now the strategy there is how he can uplift that organizational objective to suit his role and to make the organization a functional one in the society.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Samuel, for a very informative response. I really love how you connect this question with the example of the marketing team, and your example really illustrates your point. You mentioned a very good keyword here, the KPI, when it comes to the staff performance. In our third section, we will dive deeply on the managing employee performance, and we will get familiar with some key terms like the KPI. The KPI stands for Key Performance Indicator, which is the starting point, the cornerstone to evaluate the employee performance against their goal. So this is a very good word to learn from. From your sharing, I noticed that you say if the HRM objective is increasing staff performance, it will affect the recruitment in terms of, you say, hiring the good talent, the quality talent, hiring the high performers into the team to contribute to the overall performance. And you mentioned the way we create a KPI to help them understand their objective, their goal, and evaluate their performance. And you also mentioned the way the HR can help them, can train them to possess the clear mindset, the skill necessary to fulfill their role effectively. This is a very good point. And from the example of Mr. Samuel, you can see that the HRM objective influence significantly on the HRM strategies and activities in various ways, especially in the recruitment activities, in the training activities, and also in the engagement. Okay, so you can see that just as the strategic HRM objective must be in harmony with the company's overall aims, the HRM strategies and activities must support the achievement of HRM objective. the HRM strategies and activities can be linked to the organizational and the HRM objective as illustrated in the table below. For example, a company that had set profit improvement as a strategic business objective may need the HRM objective that reduce labor costs, for example. So these objectives in turn necessitate the action plan for specific HR strategies and focus of activities such as reducing headcount, improving expense control, developing performance-linked reward system, designing training program to reduce absenteeism and enhancing productivity. So this table provides the various examples that different HRM objectives require the different HRM strategies and activities. So you can refer that at home. The material will be sent to you after the class, so it's not necessary to write. So just have a look and review this example to have the broad understanding in the way that HRM objective can influence the strategies and the focus of the HRM activities. Okay, Mr. Samuel? I see that you raised your hand. Yeah?
Yeah, okay. I have a question.
Yeah.
Like, I have been trying to figure out why most HRM involve in increments, like getting things that are needed in the organization. They look into it, they tackle it as if it is one of their responsibility. Then my question is it their responsibility for increment? Do you understand me?
Can you briefly repeat your question again?
Like I have been having this issue trying to understand why HR managers, why they are into procurement.
Involved in the procurement?
Yes.
In what way?
Like getting stuffs that is needed in the office or in the organization.
From your sharing, your question is that why the HRM involved
in procurement?
Involved in procurement.
Yeah.
Wow. Could you please share it more specifically, the level of involvement in your specific case?
Now, we are sharing. In my former place of work, my HRM will oversee the procurement of things needed in the office. Okay. You give her a list of the things that you need to carry out your function. Why is it one of her duty to take a to-do list or to have a copy of what is needed in the organization?
Okay. Okay, I see that Mr. Emmanuel have raised your hand. So please share your perspective on Mr. Samuel's question before I share my ideas.
Okay, thank you very much. I think this is where organizational structure hierarchy comes in. Mr. Samuel, I think the major role of human resource manager, HRM, if there must be procurement, then it has to do with human procurement. So any other thing that has to do with inventory is not the role of the HRM, unless, in quote, unless the HRM is also juggling the role of a procurement specialist or officer. That's if your company doesn't have any procurement officer or specialist. So if a situation where, or in a company where the HRM is also juggling the role of a procurement officer with respect to inventories, then
is not the person's role. I think it should be looked into. So unless in the absence of a procurement officer, then the HRM wants to also assume that very role. And this happens it mostly happens in family businesses, family businesses where that relation wants to be here and there, making sure that that everybody is in check. Also, HRMs also juggle the role of supervisory of a supervisor. So I don't know, maybe, but from my own, I know what you're trying to buttress, because I've also witnessed a situation where the HRM, whose role is talent acquisition, is also juggling the role of even public relations officer, customer relations officer, also juggling the role of logistics. So it happens. That's where organizational structure really needs to experience implementation.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel. So, Mr. Samuel, what is your response to the Mr. Emmanuel opinion? How do you think?
Yeah, he was explicit. Because he has that same experience. He has come in contact with such dealings. Because me, I was like, it is not a duty of a HRM to oversee inventories, but at some point, I know it is mandatory or it's expedient that you give a report. It is your department. You are heading that department, but the HR has to have a report of what was done for he or she to evaluate work performance, because it is her duty or his duty. But she juggling the role of HRM, the role of PRO, the role of whatsoever, like it is not given. It is not given at all. For us not to have issues in the office, everybody should understand his lane. That is where hierarchy comes in. You need to understand your responsibilities, not to encroach on some other person's responsibility.
Yeah.
Emmanuel, thank you so much for that insight.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Samuel, for raising your very interesting question. Actually, I think that I have learned a lot from you. This is very strange ideas that I have never experienced before, that the HR management oversees the responsibility of the procurement department. But maybe in practice, there are some cases that we need to consider. And thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel, for your response, for your contribution to this question. Actually, Mr. Samuel, I agree with you that the HRM mainly oversee the people-related responsibility in the company, but in practice there will be some exception, and maybe there are some factors that the board of director or the organization take into account when allocate the responsibility of the procurement to the HRM. So from outside, we should focus only on our expertise first, and the management will have their own point of view. Okay, so I think that as I mentioned before in earlier section, in some enterprises, especially in the small and medium-sized enterprises, you even find that some managers like sales manager or the marketing managers also oversees the role of the HRM manager. So in that case, maybe the organization want to make use of their people and want them to be multitasking, for example. So I think that the ultimate goal is how we can harmonize with others, and together we achieve the goal of the business of the company. And it's not necessary to care all the factors. Okay, so thank you so much, Mr. Samuel and Mr. Emmanuel, for your response. Okay, so during the class, if you have any question, please raise your hand, because I think that I'm not the best person. I'm not the one who can answer all of your question. Maybe your classmate with the diversified experience can add in, can make some suggestion, and me from my own perspective as an instructor will give you some supplementary opinion. And I really appreciate your opinion and your question. Thank you so much. Okay, so we come to the final part of this diagram, the connection between the HRM objective and audit evaluation. Okay, so in earlier slide, we examined the strategic connection between a company mission, objective, strategies, and HRM. Therefore, evaluate the HRM effectiveness must be grounded in how well it contributes to overall business success. So key consideration when assessing HRM activities including measurable outcome, clear deadline, and involvement of all relevant stakeholders. So HRM focuses on both business performance and employees' well-being. Any evaluation of HRM contribution must consider both perspectives, the company success and the employee welfare. Okay, so this is from the theory, right? But I want to know more from your perspective. So pretending you are a CEO of a company and you are now evaluate the effectiveness of the HRM department. So which criteria do you choose to assess them? How about you, Mr. Tohib? Which criteria do you choose to assess the HRM effectiveness? Mr. Tohib? Mr. Tohib, are you there? Yeah, please turn on your mic and share your ideas. Which criteria do you choose to assess the HRM effectiveness? Please turn on your mic. I cannot hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay.
Pretending you're saying when it comes to validation, which criteria can you use?
Sorry, Mr. Tohib, there's some echo from your side. Mr. Tohib, maybe you can check your mic and come back. There's some echo from your side. Cannot hear you clearly. Okay, in the meantime, while we are waiting for Mr. Tohib to check his mic, I would like to listen to other people, right? Mr. Ming, how do you think about this question? What is your opinion? Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what is your opinion?
If I'm a CEO, or I would like to HR manage work very well and recruiting a talented employees. Yeah.
You mean that how many talented people that the HRM can recruit?
Yeah. What's the question? Yeah.
Yeah. I just heard from your sharing that the criterion that you choose to assess the HRM effectiveness is the number of people that
Recruiting people. Yeah. Recruiting talented people.
Yeah, so could you please share more specifically about this criterion? How you define this is a talented pupil? What is your definition of talented pupil in your way, and how you can communicate with HR to hire the talented pupil?
Yeah. I will tell HRM what kind of talent I need for my companies. I will give them a specific information or what I want to I want what kind of talent I need, and I expect they recruit or what I need. Yeah.
And you will communicate with them the requirement
Yeah.
that the pupil that you need. So can you please
Yeah.
list down the requirement of talented people that you want to communicate with HR so they can have the information to hire, to recruit people for you?
Yes. I want the talent those can who can um have very good problem solving skills and leadership skill.
And okay, good problem solving skill and leadership
Yeah.
skill. Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you think these requirements important to this position?
This was because problem solving skill is very important in in the working environment. Yes, because in my previous job this is the most one of the most important skills in my work, problem solving skills, and sometimes uh we have we face a lot of problem solving in our work, because it's a solar installation for residential projects. So sometimes I have to deal with some technical issue in my job, and leadership skills also needed, because I have to work with a lot of laborers to guide them to be them for the daily tasks. Yeah.
Yeah, a very good point
Yeah.
here. Yeah, you
Yeah.
in your current job, people assuming this role will face a lot of technical problems. So you think that the
Yeah.
problem solving skill is essential. So this is a
Yeah.
have requirement that you communicate with HR to find the talented people to your team, right?
Yeah.
And you will
Yeah, of course.
evaluate the HRM team based on the number of people that they can hire and match the requirement from your side. Is it correct?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Ming,
Yeah.
for your ideas. Yeah, it is a very
Yeah, thank you,
good
teacher.
how to evaluate the HRM effectiveness, but mostly on the recruitment activities. Okay, so Mr. Ming has raised perspective on the recruitment activity. And how about another activities of HRM? Okay, I see that Miss Ilas has raised her hand. So please share your ideas and turn on your camera.
Okay, so I think if I have to present as a CEO, I see HR is the backbone of a successful company.
Okay.
So yeah, so I evaluate it is effectiveness by looking at how well we attract and retain like top talent.
Okay.
So we have to keep employee engaged and create a positive work environment.
Good point here. So you evaluate the HRM in how well they attract and retain and engage the top talent. So this is a very good way to see how we evaluate the HRM effectiveness. But can you imagine which index that we can look at to evaluate the level of engagement and talent attraction of the HRM?
So I think HR role I consider is ensuring fair policies,
Yeah.
like legal compliance and a diverse, like inclusive culture. So like most importantly, I will ask if HR is helping our people thrive while driving the company forward. If the answer is yes, then HR is doing the right job.
Yeah, good point here. So, okay, so we can have various ways to evaluate the HRM contribution to the talent engagement and attraction. Okay, so thank you, Miss Elias. Okay, Miss Olajolo, I think that I haven't talked with you before because you come late. Okay, so kindly please turn on your camera, turn on your mic, briefly introduce yourself and sharing your ideas.
Good morning. So my name is Oluwafunsola Olajolo. I so my idea would be when it comes to evaluating HR effectiveness. Okay, so I would actually work on make sure everybody is actually we actually include everybody, like there's inclusion of everyone. There's a safe space like we've created over time, and yeah, basically I don't know if making sense. And also I would ensure like employees are really satisfied. So basically.
Yeah, how can I call your name exactly, briefly?
Olajolo.
Olajolo, okay. So what are your job now? What are you currently doing? What is your job now?
Okay, so I currently work as a fashion stylist and fashion consultant, basically, and also a project manager.
So, okay. So you have mentioned that the diversity and inclusion is the criterion that you look at to evaluate the effectiveness of the HRM. And yeah, the way that the HRM create a safe space for everyone. Can you explain more specifically how can you define a safe space in your opinion?
Okay, so in my opinion, a safe space will be where workers can come in and feel relaxed, feel not threatened, coming into work and not having to look after your back at your place of work, whereby when you have issues with like a superior, you're scared of taking it up because you're scared that HR is not going to take your side, or you're having issues with HR. But having a safe spaces whereby you can hear your opinion and everybody's fine. When you have issues, it gets resolved immediately. Like basically.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, Miss Olajolo. So in the next class, I hope that you will be on time so I can listen to your opinion from the beginning. Okay.
No problem.
Okay. So you can see that from Miss Olajolo opinion, there's a different aspect when we look into the diversity and inclusion. That when when we listen to Miss Elias, the diversity and inclusion may be recognizing the difference between people from different walks of life, people possessing different personality and living style. And from Miss Olajolo opinion, diversity and inclusion meaning that we as the HR manager, as the people manager, as a line manager, creating a safe space for everyone to be themselves, to be comfortable with their own personality. Okay, so it's a very good point, and it may be another criterion that we as employee or the CEO can look at to assess the HRM effectiveness. Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Olajolo. And Mr. Danny, tell me about your opinion. How about the risk management and compliance?
Okay, HRM is responsible for the risks, or is responsible for ensuring that the organization is complying with all the labor laws set up for it. So as a CEO, I'll make sure that I ensure that the HR manager make sure every employee comply with all the rules in order to avoid financial loss or cause the company losses and things in the organization. So, and we also make sure that we all comply with the rules set up by the organization so that the company can be able to run very well.
Okay, I love the way you talk about the compliance and the risk management. The HR can be considered as a role model, and it ensures that all employees comply to the specific rules and the organization can avoid the financial losses. Yeah, it is a very important aspect that the HR need to obey to and ensure that all employees comply to the rules for the smoother operation. Thank you. It's very interesting point. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Samuel, employee welfare is what I love most about HRM role. Okay, so share your ideas. Why? What is the reason?
Actually, I want to answer this question first before sharing why I love HRM role. As a wonderful CEO in view and as a wonderful CEO already, the criteria which I will use to choose whether the HRM is effective is tracking the key performance indicator. What do I mean? I'll have to track the KPI of all the employees or the staff. There are metrics at which you use to measure this KPI. And one of it is maximization, the turnover. Let me make a case scenario. I said I worked in a bank, and we have KPI to evaluate marketers' performance.
Okay.
Now I'm a CEO. I will check marketing departments. I will check all their KPI to see how effective they are. If they are good enough, that is to say, the marketing manager and the HRM, they are working well. They are doing their job. Now I will check the CSO, which has to do with customer relation officer. I will check their KPI to see how they were able to manage disputes, how they were able to solve issues, customer issues, how they were able to tackle customers' accounts to make sure that those ones that are dormant are reactivated following the stipulated rules and guidelines. So if all these things are in place, that is to say, the HRM is working, is doing her job. Now, when you go to the operations department, the cash flow, the voting, the vote out, and the withdrawal and the payout, if they are in line, if they are well structured, that is to say, the HRM is working. But if all these things are not in place, you are a visionary CEO. You are a CEO that has a goal. You structured your company to have a target. And if those targets are met within the first quarter or the second quarter of the year, that is to say, your HRM is working. But if you've not gone close to your target, there's a question mark. HRM, what is happening to marketing department? Can you please run through their KPI and know why they are not performing? So if as a CEO, you are reminding your HRM about the job performance of the marketing department or other departments in the organization. That is to say, the HRM is not working. So as a CEO, the criteria we use is to track the KPI. Now, going to the sharing of why I love HRM when it has to do with employees' welfare. I fell a victim. My first time at work, the first week, on Friday of that first week, I had a traffic jam.
Okay.
I couldn't get to work on time. And I forgot to call the HRM to tell her, please, I'll be running late.
Okay.
When I got to the office, I was expecting a kind of query. I was expecting a blow. I was expecting so many negative things. But when I came, having a good HRM, he said, Mr. Samuel, why are you late? I explained myself. He said, you could have just put a call across. Please, next time. I love the way she attended to me.
Okay.
And I never repeated that again. Each time I'm to run late, I'll put a call across first. Okay. The other scenario, I was very sick. I couldn't make it. I wanted to force myself into the work. She said, no, you don't have to. You have to relax. Take a break. Like it gave me a sense of belonging. That relationship, staff to staff relationship, it was something I was happy about. So it made me to understand if I am in that position as a HRO, I should consider staff welfare. Because if the staff is okay, it will maximize output, and input will be also high. The higher the input, the higher the output.
Okay.
It's a give and take. So if your employer, if your employee is not in good sound of mind, that person will not work effectively. I bet you. So you must pamper your employee to just to get their best, to get the best from them. It's not like you should be reluctant. When it comes to school, you scold them. When they do bad, you tell them this you did is not good, it's not acceptable. They will understand in a polite way. So it gives me that impression that a HROM should be polite, should be considerate, should be empathy, apathy, and all those things should be in place. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel. I'm so happy that you have the positive experience with the HR manager. And I love the way that you mentioned the keywords, sense of belonging. Okay, it's a very interesting things that we need to keep in mind if we assume we take a role as a HR manager. The HR manager acted as a bridge between the company and the employees. HR is just like a representative of the CEO, the board director. So some personality that Mr. Samuel had mentioned is that politeness, being empathetic or being considerate to make the employees feel free, feel comfortable, feel engaged. It is when we can understand that the HRM has fulfilled their role effectively. Yeah. I just want to reiterate that you had mentioned that checking the KPI, checking the employee performance is one of the way to measure the whether the HRM is working or not. Yeah, it's correct. But the supervising the KPI, supervising the employee performance is not the only is not the HRM responsibility only. It must be the concerted effort between the HRM and the line managers. Okay, and we will analyze it more in detail in our third session, the employee performance. And in that session, I look forward to your opinion regarding the KPI, regarding to supervising the employee performance. Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel. Mr. Emmanuel, yeah, I see you raise your hand. What is your sharing?
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate all that my colleagues have contributed. But if I would have to react to the question, it says I should pretend like I'm a CEO of a company when it comes to evaluating HRM's effectiveness. Which criteria do you choose? I think the best criteria I would choose as an upcoming startup is my success metrics. My success metrics is what I would put in place. My success metrics has to do with my growth metrics. Growth in the sense that if I'm looking at having a mobile app, say for onboarding, user onboarding, for subscription, if I say by the end of the first quarter, I should have onboarded 1,000 users who would be my power users, who would not just download the app and register or onboard, but who would also subscribe. That has to do with customer acquisition and adoption. So if by the end of the first quarter, I don't see that my success metrics that has to do with my growth metrics is not giving me the result I want, then it means that the HR is not effective with respect to the sales team, with respect to the marketing team, with respect to every all the lines under that should give me that result. So that's one. Then also, I would take a look at my customer satisfaction score, the CSAT. So if I say I'm expecting 90% of customer satisfaction with respect to reviews and feedbacks, and I'm not seeing it, then it means that my HROM is not giving me results with respect to the sales and the marketing team as well. So when my success metrics is put in check and I'm not seeing the desired result or outcome, then it's a criteria for me to evaluate my HROM's effectiveness. Thank you.
Yeah, I would like to ask, in your previous experience, have you ever taken this role of evaluating the HRM activity, the effectiveness? Have you ever? Because from your sharing, I think that you have a lot of experience, and I wonder that whether in the previous job you have at least one time evaluate the effectiveness of the HRM in your company.
Yeah, it's one thing I experienced about HRM is a lack of empathy. The one I've worked under, yes, had no empathy, and then it's just putting up sentiments about the business. You get, so when you don't put as your priority the staff welfare, it affects production, it affects business outcome. So if you are not that staff centric or staff oriented, then it affects it. The previous one I had wasn't that empathetic when it comes to staff welfare. You know, also all those are there was no proper structure when it comes to staff compensations. Staff compensation, say, okay, this staff has met up with the target that was given. Okay, for instance, I had a situation when I was recruiting for community members for key population in my community for a particular HIV intervention. You know, the bench line was to recruit 200 volunteers to participate in that very sensitization and intervention, and the timeline was 3 months. So imagine you delivering in 1 month without compensations, without perks, even if it's just a vocal applause, you know. So those things only end up demoralizing the staff, not wanting to do more. So if I'm being given a timeline of 3 months and I deliver in 1 month, of course, I should even be considered for promotion or a better peg that would help me, you know, stay focused and do more. So that's the experiences I've encountered in the past.
I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, so actually, I think that lacking of empathy is also the shortcoming that the HRM need to fix, because HRM will deal with the people-related matter, and if they can be polite, considerate, and empathetic like you and Mr. Samuel mentioned before, they can establish the good relationship with the employees and can manage and help them better and effectively in the future. Thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel, for your sharing. Mr. Tohib, have you checked your mic and be able to share your ideas now, Mr. Tohib?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
it now?
Yeah. Is it good now? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. If I'm a CEO of a company, I think for me it will be the income, the profits. I think the return on investment, because basically we employing people and we are not making profit doesn't make any sense. So to me, money is the first. If you are making income or money is coming into the company, so and things are being done effectively and on time, I think that's one way I can measure the effectiveness of my HR management.
Yeah. You mentioned the keywords return on investment. Okay.
Yeah.
So for the sales department, it's easy to calculate a return on investment based on the number of product they sold, the revenue. But for the HRM, maybe it can be a bit difficult to measure the return on investment.
Okay.
Yeah. So in your opinion, how can we calculate the return on investment for the specific HRM activities?
Huh?
How can?
You said for the HR department, how can we measure the activities?
How can we measure the return on investment just for the HRM activities? It's unlike the sales activities where we can calculate specifically the number, like the number of products sold or the numbers of revenue. But for the HRM activities, how can we calculate the return on investment from your opinion?
I think the way we are going to do it is if work are being done on time,
Okay.
orderly, to based on each department and the people involved.
Okay.
So you have to monitor the activities and the way they are taking their work. If they are not just sitting around and no, I have a little idea. So sorry.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good point here. Return on investment. Thank you so much, Mr. Tohib. Actually, you raised a very crucial question when it comes to assessing the HRM effectiveness, the return on investment. Because from the perspective of the CEO, they always want to look at the money, like you mentioned earlier. Exactly. The number of products sold maybe can be calculated easily by the report from the sales department, but for the HRM activity, maybe it's difficult to realize the contribution to the business objective. So we maybe we use the indirect method to calculate the return on investment based on the people, like the criterion you mentioned, the people involved, number of people, the number of high performers in the company, and how they contribute to achieving the sales target, for example. And it is connected to the KPI index that Mr. Samuel has mentioned before. Okay, so thank you so much, Mr. Tohit, for your
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so as you can see that I think that you have all come up with very interesting and diversified criteria when it comes to evaluating HRM effectiveness. And on the screen, there are some suggested evaluation aspect and related question that the CEO or the board director or even the HRM can consider when looking at the current operation and finding where or how to improve the activities. Okay, so it should be noted that in practice, the companies tend to use a mix of evaluation aspects to assess the HRM comprehensively. And it's a long way to go. It's not easy to evaluate, but as the HRM manager, we try our best to prove our contribution to the business, to the employee welfare, and to the long-term success of the company. So I think that we come to nearly 12. Maybe it's time for us to take a good lunch break. And I hope that after the short break, you can have you can recharge your battery to complete our afternoon session. So we will have a break of 2 hours. So please come back on time at 2 p.m. and we will have the afternoon section with a lot of case study and real life example for you to take a look at. So thank you so much for participating so enthusiastically in this morning section. And I look forward to your opinion and your ideas in the afternoon section. Thank you so much and see you at 2 p.m. Thank you.
Hello guys, what's up?
Okay, so you can have a lunch break now and come back
Okay.
at 2 p.m. Okay, please
Okay,
on
thank
time.
you.
Okay, guys, please on time. 2
you.
p.m.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye. See you at 2 p.m.